Golden Axe is one of the earliest beat-em-ups and still easily one of the most polished, tightly designed, and well presented. It intimately understands its then fledgling genre and its fantasy inspirations, masterfully leveraging elements of both. To start with the fantasy first, this is one of the most gorgeous games of its period, and even now it's a highly atmospheric affair. Its backdrops are high-quality illustrations that wouldn't appear too out of place in Conan or Ralph Bakshi's Fire and Ice. They're detailed, and their presence here is highly evocative, thanks in large part to their shifting hue as the day wears on. A misty morning fog will clear, revealing the forest in its grandeur, only for it to then be tinted softly orange during a sunset showdown. Rather than traditional stage end screens, you also get these artful transitions of our heroes scrawling on an open map and delivering a direct journal of their arduous travels, all set to some appropriately ominous music. You find yourself riding titanic turtles and enormous eagles, which carry you through vast oceans and across windswept skies. If you remove this game's HUD, this would be one of the most immersive fantasy experiences available. This is a simple, direct dark fantasy story which delights in the texture of its genre. Then there's the gameplay, which is no less commendable. The mechanics in Golden Axe are simple, but hide within them a world of depth, which is steadily revealed through challenging enemy encounters. Your foes don't simply waddle up to you and strike, they make plays. They're aware of you and your spacing, they try actively to flank you, and they dynamically react to your positioning and movement. This is a feature common to beat-em-ups of the period, but it's handled very well here. The push and pull of combat creates a flow, and it is your responsibility as the player to intercept, disrupt, and redirect that flow so you may triumph. The enemy placements, enemy types, and their beastly mounts all require different approaches, building upon the same foundation. This is a game about movement, about baiting your opponents, interrupting them, counterattacking, and sliding away from danger by a hair's width, all while maintaining your sense of rhythm and spacing. At high levels, you'll be controlling the enemies as much as your own character, puppeteering them right into your brutal blade. There's a dynamism to these combat sequences that is only matched by other true titans of the genre. And of course, we shouldn't neglect the design's finer details, like the way your enemies have simulated momentum and need to correct themselves for overextending their sprint, or the way the skeletons, while also the swiftest enemies, have deliberately staggered animations which lend to their uncanny and unpredictable nature, and how riding a mount fundamentally changes the game feel, requiring a different set of movement skills and combat tactics. So yeah, Golden Axe is quite good. I'd even say it flirts with perfection, though it does fall short in a few critical areas. Like, for one reason or another, you can't knock foes into each other, which greatly reduces the combat utility of throws. The hit detection is also too often biased in the enemy's favor, tarnishing the otherwise hard-fought verisimilitude. And lastly, the game includes a spare 2 moments where jumping is absolutely required to survive. There's one very brief ledge and one of Death Adder's attacks. These instances feel completely out of left field, particularly in a game where jumping is most often an optional utility. With all that said, this is still an excellent experience. It features simple rule sets and equally simple, yet appropriately nuanced enemy AI, ensuring real thought is required while also keeping everything within clearly defined parameters. This creates a high skill ceiling and a rewarding gameplay loop, where the player earns their improvement and their victories, all wrapped up in entrancing fantasy set dressing. Golden Axe may not quite be flawless, but it is remarkably close.